Who do you think's MVP this year in basketball?
That's a hard conversation.
Luka?
There's like a 5-man race right now. Yep, I think Luka is a good choice.
Luka's in the running.
He's one of like the 5, him and Embiid and Giannis.
Is Giannis going to be like in the talk forever?
Yeah, he'll be a guy for a while. Jokic is also still a thing. He's won 2 years in a row.
The Aaron Rodgers of the NBA. Well, talent-wise, maybe. This is the MVZ podcast. Live on a Wednesday. Sad it's not a Thursday, but Z has a
family coming
in.
Also, there's no Thursday Night Football anymore, unfortunately.
I guess it didn't matter.
It's unfortunate that Thursday Night Football's over.
Do you think they should get rid of Thursday Night Football? As much as you love it, do you think from a different standpoint it should not be on?
Like from a football standpoint, maybe. From
player quality of life standpoint, because like business-wise, NFL has to keep doing it. Like,
business-wise, they're never going to get quit.
Oh, $1 billion for 17 games? Yeah. Or 16, right? They don't do the week. Do they do week 1?
They did 17, yeah. Week 1's always the defending champs versus someone good.
So it's hard to say from a business-wise. And then when you think, oh, well, what about the players? What about them? Well,
like this year's Rams-Bills was opening night. We thought
that was a good game though. But
man, then everyone on the Rams got injured.
Yeah, they suck.
Man, this Google Earth ad, I want to go there.
That is beautiful.
Wherever this place is, they should see when they do this to you. They should like somewhere give you where that is. Like, is that U.S.? Is that U.S.? Looks U.S.
I feel like that's Asia. Did that not show anywhere? Oh, and then come to find out I have NBA League Pass. It's a long-ass ad for space. Yeah, it's hard to say. A lot of lush green and mountains.
I hate that. They should tell you where it is. That's all I'm saying.
It's brought to you by Google Earth.
How hard is it to, like, in a different corner, put, like, hey, this is this city in this place?
Maybe it's in the ad info. It's not. If they had a channel of, like, Google Earth random, I'd probably have that on sometimes.
They're like, hey, just, it's on Earth. You can find it.
Where do you think, what kind of camera are they using? Is this a drone? Is this a helicopter just flying with a giant orb of a camera? Because, like, the picture quality is phenomenal.
I think it's a helicopter.
Like they do Planet Earth?
Yeah.
Did you ever watch those documentaries?
Oh, all the time.
I'm a big fan.
I've been watching the one on Apple TV. The historic.
I haven't watched that one yet.
Prehistoric Planet.
I have not watched that one yet.
It's about dinosaurs.
Oh, that's me bumping it. Yeah. I'm a selfish asshole.
It's dinosaurs. And they got David Attenborough to do it. Good stuff.
Oh.
Good stuff, man. I don't know. They need to get his voice. Clip it. We have the technology now. So we can run it on wildlife documentaries forever.
Just do like what Bruce Willis did. Like just sign your voice away like he did with deep faking his whole face and body.
We need David Attenborough to do that. Because he's in 90%. He is in 90% of like the good nature documentaries. And I was watching one, and I don't remember, it was like Idris Elba or something, and I was just like, this is dumb. Like, he has like a good voice, but like I was like so irrationally upset.
It was like, the narration's taking me out of it. I've bought Planet Earth 2 twice. I bought it on Blu-ray when it came out, and then 4K when
and that's
Attenborough,
right? He's Planet Earth.
It is.
He's that. He's all like
Blue Planet.
Blue Planet.
If you think of one that was ever like in theaters or IMAX, that was Attenborough.
Yeah, and dude looks good for his age.
Does he?
I'm
sure he's a gray bald Englishman.
Yeah, but like He is a gray-haired Englishman, but when you see him in Prehistoric Planet, like when you watch it, you're like, oh, like this guy's old, and like, Bethany and I was watching it. Bethany's like, how old is he? I'm like, he looks great for his age, and she's like, Gas. I was like, Gas, how old? He was just like, I don't know, he's like 76. I'm like, that dude's like 90. He's 93 years old or something like that. Like,
now I gotta call the bluff.
I'm like 90. By that point, you should look like a goblin. Am I wrong?
My precious. Been around since the 60s.
So putter.
He's 96.
Yeah, dude looks phenomenal for 96. The fact that he's above the ground is something.
I want to see a new picture.
All right, type in Prehistoric Planet, because that just came out this year.
I know when they filmed it. Damn, yeah,
That's great, right? I mean, for 93, that is a healthy man.
So people can see here. This is Attenborough. What is it? Oh man, we're frozen. Shit.
No, you said 96, right? Yeah, for 96. But like I said, being alive is its own credit. But to like Bethany guessed him mid 70s. I'm like, that's like, she didn't believe me when I said he looked good for his age at first.
Well, I hope no one wanted to watch us because we're off camera now. So for main, I'm just gonna do this.
See, when he dies, I'm gonna be irritated. I don't usually care when celebrities die that much, and I know that sounds horrible, absolutely horrible to say, but like, I don't keep up with a lot of celebrity stuff, and like a lot of the time, like when Alex Trebek died, I was like, yeah, that's sad. Dude was like 70 some years old. Like, to say it was like, no one saw it coming. It's like he was old and had cancer. Like, it happens. But David Attenborough, I'm just going to be upset from a selfish standpoint of like,
I've been following you for years, man.
Yeah. Like, I don't watch Jeopardy. So like, I occasionally watch Jeopardy, and guess what? The new people, it's fine. Same show.
I think it's because it's just such a distinctive voice.
And I just grew up watching them like as a kid, and he's been the guy my whole life. That's on all of them.
Do you think it's because he was? I'm sure he had to have been the guy that was on like all over the Animal Planet.
Animal Planet, yep. That's the one I was trying to think of. I was like, what was before Planet Earth? Animal Planet. Yeah, he did that one. He did Animal Planet, he did Planet Earth, he did Blue Planet. Like, he's done them all. So like I said, it's just be a Prehistoric Planet you should watch. It's very cool. It's very cool. It's on Apple TV, and obviously it's CGI, but they do dinosaurs.
Are you sure though?
Yeah, they do dinosaurs. It's like, because I was watching it, Bethany's like, so I'm assuming this is CGI. I was like, no, it's real. I was like, they took David Attenborough and they put him in a time machine, and he's there now. But it's very interesting. Like, learned about mosasauruses, and pterodons, and T-Rexes, and it's cool stuff. Cool stuff.
I'm pretty intrigued. I'm all for watching it.
He's like, 65 million years ago. You know how he does. You know how he do.
I don't know what it is about why this camera fails me so many times. I'm not even going to fix it. We're not doing it. We're not rerunning it. We're just playing it as it is. Just people can't see it.
Oh, another beautiful place that could be anywhere, but it's probably Ireland.
New Zealand.
You think it's New Zealand?
New Zealand. I'm certain it's something.
Pretty soon, you'll be able to hold your phone up and be like, where is that?
Can you not now?
I don't. Maybe you can.
Let's see. I was looking up what a cloaca is.
Oh, the cute little rodent?
No, it's an orifice.
Oh.
For reptiles, birds, and other animals.
Oh, I was saying the quokka. Cute little thing. Sounds a lot cuter than whatever orifice you were.
Oh, reverse image search is the only thing it talks about.
They'll get there.
Right? You can take a picture of items in your house,
You can ask
and
what
it can tell you who
song
can buy
something
it.
is, and
Oh, Shazam everything.
right. So eventually you'd be like, what the heck is this? I'll tell you. Have you seen the competitive people at that, by the way?
Oh, like name the song?
No, the Google Earth professionals.
Oh.
Whether they show like a random photo and they're like, it's just like a stop sign and they're like, oh, it's definitely Spain. Give me. They're just like some random thing and they're like, oh yeah, you were 10 miles out. And I'm like, I'm sorry. What?
I love it. You can see like people on Reddit will do like somebody like, oh, can you? I'd love to know more about where my mom grew up. And here's a picture of her from her childhood. And this is grainy black and white photo. And it'll show, bing, a map, zoom, 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 all the way until they just show the landscape. And then the picture's right there. It's like, son of a bitch.
Yeah, someone's literally like, oh, that tree's only in the southernmost part of Italy. And it's just like, how do you know that? You sociopath.
From the first equinox until March 33rd or 31st, bam. It is crazy how people can know that much about one certain place in so many different aspects. How many basketball games are on today that you talk about so many blowouts?
There are 12.
Oh, and there's only 2 good games.
Yeah, and there's 3 that haven't started. So,
and right now we got Cleveland, Phoenix. Is Phoenix still good?
yeah.
Is Cleveland anything?
Yeah, they're getting good. They're young.
I mean, they've been building, it seems like. When LeBron's not on the team, they've been rebuilding my whole life. And I don't think I like that their court says the land. Like, stop. If it weren't just like so central in the United States, there wouldn't be like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and shit there. Because like it's Cleveland.
Yeah.
No one says anything good about Cleveland if they don't have to. LeBron was born and raised in Akron right there, and he's like, he leaves repeatedly.
Yeah, leave is in the name. It's not Castelland.
Yeah, it's Cleveland. I really got to pay attention to basketball more because, like, man.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Basketball has the most fun trade deadline in sports. The most fun offseason in sports. By a lot.
Oh, this year was pretty fun in NBA or NFL for a trade deadline. A lot of movement.
Yeah, there is some movement. But, like, in the NBA, like, there'll be, like, stars that'll straight up be traded in the middle of the year. You don't see, like, oh, Jamar Chase is gone. No more Tyreek Hill in the middle of a season.
No, I guess baseball's mostly a free agent thing.
It's easier to establish at the trade deadline, like, who's trying to do what at that point in time. And tanking is such a big thing in basketball, which also leads itself to that because a top 10 pick is so much different than any other pick in the draft. To where, like, in baseball, there's, like, 60 rounds. Like, you could hit you. Yeah, those top 5 guys might be the best, but there's no guarantee they're any better than, like, the next 50 guys.
Yeah, there's so much growth and development.
In football, like, there's not as much incentive to tank just because, like, if you stay pretty good, as long as you keep a good quarterback and you draft well, you can draft good players late in the first round.
Yeah, in the first 4 rounds, you're expected to contribute to the team in some way, shape, or form. Because, like, special teams, there's a reason there's 90 players on a roster to start the season.
Yeah, and the Steelers are just incredibly lucky in just the fact that, like, so Ben leaves, and the very first draft we have post-Ben, it looks like we've hit on pretty much everyone. Pickett's been a lot better. He's like the 3rd best PFF quarterback in the last 6 weeks or something, which I'm not putting a ton of stock in just because, I mean, like, I think there's a lot of times you take a 6-week sample of any guy, you can do really well. But still, everyone will talk about his small hands, but they forgot about how big that dude's a nuts are in clutch situations. Back-to-back weeks, that dude just marched. I like what I saw from the grit wise and just putting his team on his back the last 2 weeks and at the last drive, being able to march. And you do it against the Ravens, you're a Steeler in my book. You're in.
Well, Lamar.
Lamar don't play defense?
No, but it wouldn't have been that close.
Maybe not. We do pretty well defensively against Lamar. But anyway, it's still like you lead a comeback against the Ravens, and you've earned my heart. And then DeMarvin Legal looks good. Pickens looks good. It's been a good draft class.
You guys, yeah, your players hit. Pickens first round talent dropped. Injury, character concern. Pickens, the only pro-ready quarterback, but no one that needed a quarterback wanted to take him that early.
And the knock on him was lack of physical tools and small hands. But those are the only knocks. I mean, that's the good thing is when that's the only knocks. Like Pittsburgh was like he has all the intangibles. He's smart.
But what are all the physical tools?
Like
hands,
a cannon, size.
What was Ben
strength.
Roethlisberger's?
Ben Roethlisberger is the one that you like. When people talk about prototypical quarterback, they talk about young Ben Roethlisberger. That's a quarterback in a lab that you build. 6'5", big arm. I mean, that's you know what I mean. Josh Allen. Those are the type of guys you're building in a lab. Big, strong men who have big arms, semi-mobile. That's who you used to build anyway. The league's changing a little bit. Mobility is being valued a lot more.
I mean, as it should, it puts the defense at a natural disadvantage.
But back in the day, like Ben is the type of guy, like I said, you build in the lab, like you want that type of body style. And you look at most quarterbacks, they're kind of like that. Phillip Rivers, Aaron Rodgers, even Tom to some extent. Like he didn't have the big arm, but again, he's like 6'4". You know,
deadly accurate though.
Yeah.
But let's see the thing with Ben, like he's always had such a long release. I'm surprised he didn't get knocked on it more than he did, because like he's always had that weird 3/4 bring back.
Mm-hmm.
And he was only mobile. I guess he's somewhat mobile for a long time.
Yeah.
But man, he was kind of statuesque.
He was pretty
7-step drop back.
He was pretty mobile when he was young.
Yeah, he got the shit kicked out. You forget, he played a long time. He got the shit kicked out of him for a long
He played like 17
years.
seasons. Like, I mean, not very many guys are mobile. You're not mobile at the end unless you're like Lamar, Vic style, where it's just like you're always going to be mobile for a quarterback.
To think if Lamar or if Vic didn't do the dogfighting
Groundhogs.
thing,
He still wouldn't have been good. Ooh.
he
was
developed so much in the last few years with Andy Reid.
Mm-hmm. He would have never been with Andy Reid.
That's
He'd have been a Falcon forever.
I think that's the thing. Yeah, he realized with training, he turned into an actual quarterback. What's with Phoenix? Why does Phoenix have blue jerseys? Like, is this
I'll tell you.
It's like a Miami Vice jersey.
Why are none of the games going to eclipse 100 today? Like, what is going on?
Oh yeah, it's only a
What
minute.
year is it? Totals nowadays, by the way, the average NBA total is like 230.
Yeah, I keep seeing like the over under and then the
Yeah, they're set like a 230 now, which is wild.
we turned off the Milwaukee game, right? That was when it,
Yeah, we can
40
go,
points at half.
Yeah, we can go back to it.
Well,
This is a
what's
close
the
game.
last minute
Well,
20?
I said in a little bit. I like the last 2 minutes of a close basketball game are always so fun.
So, I'd like to have like daddy-daughter time. So tonight, on your way here, I was out with Savannah. We took a little golf cart ride. Just me and her. And she asked me a question, and I was like, man, I got to think on that. I can't tell you an answer. Who are your favorite male and female celebrities? And I was like, oh.
Lana Rhodes.
The older, well, see, that's the thing. Like, the older I get, the more I have to think about. Like, it changes so much. It goes from like looks and movies I thought they were
Johnny
funny in
Sins.
to like
Who are they, Dad? Look them up.
they're great. They're great. So she asked me female first. I was like, I don't know. Like, let me think of the female. Then it went male. I was like, well, Dax Shepard, because like he married this sweet, amazing woman in Kristen Bell.
I told you that Bethany's roommate, that's her uncle, right?
No, that's my man crush.
It was hilarious how we found out. So we were at her house, and she mentioned like her estranged uncle, right? It was the opposite of a name drop. It wasn't like she was name dropping. She was like, yeah, like he doesn't really fit in with the rest of our family. Like he went off and she's like, he tried to be an actor, and I didn't put any stock in that.
Tried.
I didn't put any stock into it. So like, was like whatever. A couple days later, she mentioned that like he talked to their grandma or something for the first time in so long, and she's like, yeah, he's been apparently in some real. She's like, he's been in some real stuff, but like nothing you would have watched, right? And this was like in 2014 or so. So like, I was like, okay, and like it was like right before he started dating Kristen Bell, or that was like a big thing in the news, and so she was just like, yeah, like. I was like, what's his name? She goes, you wouldn't know anything he's in. I'm like, what's his name? Cause like, I was like, I want to IMDb him. I want to see what he's been in. And she goes, Dax Shepard. And I was like, from Without a Paddle? She's like, I don't know what that is. She was like a really sheltered Christian girl. So like, you think about most of his movies, they don't fit that. So I still was like, is she messing with me? So I got on her Facebook and I'm looking through all her friends. Shepard. Her whole family's the Shepards. And so I was just like, oh, okay. So then, like,
how crazy is that?
So then we watched.
Like, how crazy? I'm talking about like my favorite, my man crush, my celebrity crush. Like, as a male, it's Dax Shepard.
Yeah, and then on Frozen came out, and I looked at Bethany and I said, hey, remember when Allison's aunt is freaking Anna? Like, and she's not at all name dropping. Just like, who the heck is Dax Shepard? Like, an actor who's been in a lot of stuff, but. All right, sure.
He has one of the top 10 podcasts in the world.
One of my favorite stories of all time, just because she was so like,
not
impressed with it. And like, I think it was like Without a Paddle, Employee of the Month. She's like, I don't know what these are.
You know, I wonder if it also because like he's an addict.
She was really sheltered. Yeah, he was an addict, and that's why he was like
major.
That's why he was boosted out of that family, because they were super closeted Christians.
Which is why I talked again, like you. The older you get, the more you have to think about the other aspects, like celebrity. And he's someone like who's dealt with his addiction. He's fallen off the wagon, and then he owned up to it himself. Like on his podcast, he released his own news. So he's like, I'm going to take a couple weeks off of the podcast. I'm going to work on my marriage. I'm going to therapy. I was like, the older I get, the more important it is for me to respect the character, not just everything else. But like. Without a Paddle, it's in my top 10. Chips, one of the funniest scenes I've ever seen that I almost puked. I laughed so hard.
I haven't seen that one.
What? Chips, I bought it. I bought it twice. I bought it on DVD and then I lost it. So I bought it in 4K on the Vudu app. I love the movie Chips. But I also love the different men to watch. God, it's not Jay Hernandez. That Mexican fella that's in a bunch of shit, and he makes me laugh and everything. What's his name? Chips movie. Michael Pena. So Chips has a 4.2 out of 5 on Vudu. Rotten Tomatoes, 19%. I love that movie. So it was super easy for me to come up with a male celebrity that I love. Because it was him. All
right, so quick game. Speaking of this, I don't know why I thought of Tim Allen when we talked about drug addictions.
Oh yeah, he got busted in Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Yeah, he was bad. So we're gonna have a game for you. You have to tell me whether Tim Allen said this, or if Scott Calvin from the Santa Claus, Tim Allen said this. Okay.
All right.
If I have no intent, if I show no intent, if I clearly am not a racist, then how can he says the actual N-word be bad coming out of my mouth?
Well, it's got to be Tim Allen.
Yes, that's Tim Allen. In the morning, I'm getting a CAT scan.
Scott Calvin.
Yeah. And then the last one. And you know what I got to do sometimes is explain, which I hate in big arenas, that this is a thought police thing, and I do not like it. But when I use these words, this is my intent behind those words. So as long as you know my intent, I say what people say, just don't say it. And I said, I'm not going to do that.
Tim Allen.
Again, talking about the N-word. That was in 2019 on The View. The first one was in
Yeah.
2013.
It's the reason. It's the reason the show got canceled.
Dude, it's just like, I'm gone. But then they let him be. He has a Disney show.
Art from the artist.
Dude's actively trying to say the N-word as a white man in 2019, and Disney's like, you know, we need a Santa Claus show.
And, you know, Home Improvement, and then 20 years later, he did the one with the kids, the girls instead of the boys. Mike Baxter, he was Outdoor Man.
Yeah.
I love that show because I loved how ridiculously right-wing was in the show, but then it turns out he's really that way. But even worse, he's like a male Roseanne. Turns out totally fucking batshit crazy.
I'm trying to think who my favorite celebrities would be.
And that's what I brought it up to ask you. So I'm still struggling with woman. Now I will say,
because it's not like a pure, like obviously it's not like a purely physical thing when you're talking about your favorite celebrities.
So I went as a man trying to think of a female, trying to separate the looks aspect, and I had to say, like, well, I don't have a celebrity, a favorite female celebrity, but I will tell you, Savannah, I have a lot of respect for Billie Eilish because of the way her body's changed, and she owns it, and she doesn't apologize for being who she is. Like, you know what? Good for her, because like she had to grow a lot in a real quick time, and if she wants to be an asshole, she'll be an asshole. At least she seems comfortable with who she is. But I was like, I don't follow female celebrities, so I can't say.
Dude, I just don't follow celebrities, just in general. Like, knowing them on a personal level, like I can think of actors and actresses that I like movies they've been in, but that doesn't mean I like them. You know what I mean? Like,
I think that's why it was
I
easier.
like Kanye's music. Do not support the man.
I saw you trying to buy those Nazi Yeezys.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
I think that's the reason why I my other male celebrity I was going to pick was Pat McAfee. Because he's living my dream.
Oh, Post Malone. It's got to be one of my favorites.
Right, so like, I guess it's easier.
All accounts, great guy.
Oh, teddy bear.
Yeah. So like, I love Shaq too. I like old Shaq. Didn't like young Shaq.
But you know what? You probably would have liked young Shaq too, as a fan, and like, he started his shoes when he was a young dude.
Yeah, but he was a little.
He's just like an asshole teammate.
Little more into himself when he was younger. He's still into himself, but like it's different now.
He was into himself professionally.
He grew up, right?
You know, I'll say that Shaq talked about that. He lost the love of his life and it was all his fault. It's like, yeah, dude. Way to own up to it. But female, it's hard to say. I was like, oh, Angelina Jolie? No, I heard she's a bitch.
Part of the hard part is a lot of females get so drug. Like, a lot of the famous females get drug in the media pretty hard. Like, the ones you hear about are like Reese Witherspoon, Rihanna, Ariana Grande. You hear all these negative things that they do. You don't hear.
Oh, their prima donna stuff?
Yeah, Mariah Carey. Even like Taylor Swift, you hear about like all of the carbon dioxide emissions and like you just hear so much negative stuff for women. You didn't know that?
Oh, with the plane.
Yeah, that she uses like more than like anyone else, but like a lot.
A lot.
Like a lot. Well, like you don't hear a lot of positive stuff, and then even people like you go to like, oh, like if you're a politician like Hillary Clinton or anyone like that, like you're just automatically considered a B word. Like just like, oh, you're in politics and you're a girl. I'm like, yeah, and every guy's a douchebag in politics for the most part, but they don't automatically get branded like that.
Oh yeah, that is my female crush. Had to be AOC.
Like I still feel like had Hillary Clinton been a man, she beat Trump in that first election.
That's probably true.
I really think it was purely a woman thing. Like purely a woman running, and then just the perfect storm.
How
Trump being like, she's an idiot.
Yeah, it turns out America's more sexist than racist.
Yeah, for sure. It's bad. But yeah, like so that's why it's hard. It's really hard to point to females because they just don't get.
Oh, speaking of politics, and this isn't even bipartisan or left or right. Republicans have the Senate, the House.
I might choose Doris Burke.
You're gonna pick Doris Burke to be in such a because she's in such a male field and she's just like held her own.
She just seems really friendly. Never heard anything bad about Doris Burke.
No, not like you hear like Rachel Nichols being dragged.
I heard the weird thing like freaking Drake wants to bang Doris Burke. Doris Burke was like, yeah, that's
oh
weird.
yeah, she got that guilt. She got like a guilt mentality. Yeah.
And Doris Burke was like, that's strange. It was like her reaction to it. I liked Michelle Beadle a lot back when she was on
She got
Sports
drugged
Nation.
too though when she left Sports Nation.
Yeah. I liked her on that show though. Her and Colin Cowherd, that was a good show.
Yeah.
When it was those guys. Then they replaced Colin with Marcellus, and then
Now Joy Taylor is on the Herd. Who's Kay Adams.
is it wrong to just say? Is it a complete cop out to just be like, it's Oprah? Just leave it at that. Such a cop out answer.
Yeah, kind of.
Have you heard of her? You heard of Oprah?
I'm not going to pick Ellen DeGeneres.
No, she got drugged too. Like I said, that's like I said, it's bad.
COVID ruined a lot of women. COVID really got a lot of women drugged.
And that's why with the whole Victoria's Secret thing.
What? Oh,
When everyone's, that was made up by a white guy, like we got cheated, blah blah blah. Victoria didn't even really exist, and I wanted to be like, no dip. Like Victoria's Secret started when? What year?
1960s.
Okay, and we were just gonna let some woman sell all of our wives' panties in the 60s. And she wasn't drugged. That should have been a red flag. You should have went, hey, maybe it's a white old guy.
White old guy from Ohio. And I know he's from Ohio because there's a song that Savannah fucking loved.
Right. But that's the thing, though, is you think about it, think about that, though. Shouldn't that have keyed you off? Think about if a real, actual woman was trying to sell lingerie to our wives in the 60s. We'd be like, you can't buy those whore underwear.
Yeah, that's true.
But since it was a white old man who was also stupid rich, all the other rich white guys are like, it's fine. That's my take on it. I'm like, you should have use your brain. We weren't going to let an actual woman sell stuff back then. And get rich? No. Absolutely not. I mean, sometimes it's like, you gotta think about things. As awful as that sounds, that's what I thought immediately. I was just like, did you think? Like, history sucks.
That's what makes it hard for me to believe that there's like such conservative women.
How is Ryan Reynolds not a choice?
Oh yeah, he's on the list. But now he's so rich.
Here's a list of the 20 nicest celebrities.
I feel like Ryan Reynolds is a character.
Yeah.
That he's like Russell Wilson of actors.
Yeah. Here are the top 20 nicest people in celebrities.
Male or all?
Just in general.
Okay, I'm all for it.
Ed Sheeran. LeBron James. Hugh Jackman.
Oh, okay. I like you.
I like all these people on the list so far. Gina Rodriguez.
Who?
From Jane the Virgin.
I don't know who that is.
George Clooney. I've heard how nice he is for eons.
Yeah, since he was sexiest man before he got
Tyra
banned.
Banks, really?
That's a surprise. Speaking of
I
Victoria's
can't think
Secret.
of anything bad other than her like persona on Top Model.
Yeah.
She was kind of mean.
Bitchy top model.
Jay Leno, David Beckham, Oprah, Jennifer Lawrence, Sarah Jessica Parker,
Really?
Steve Buscemi. That makes sense.
I heard that.
Well, look at him.
He used to be a firefighter.
Can't look like that and be mean and get jobs. Is that wrong? Dave Chappelle.
I don't know. You know, it
Tom
could be
Hanks.
because Rob Schneider gets work from Adam Sandler, and I've heard he's a fucking
Ellen, that
lunatic.
didn't age well.
Yeah.
Lady Gaga.
Age like milk.
Barack Obama.
All right, now it's getting kind of
Keanu Reeves. Ryan
so
Gosling.
so Keanu should have been on there way before.
They weren't rankings. They were
So he's like notorious.
Emma Watson. That might be my choice. Betty White, but she's not alive anymore, is she? This website from 2010 had Bill Cosby.
Oh. Not the nicest celebrity.
It's just funny how things age. Yeah, but it is funny how you'd have thought of these things. Because, like, again, here's BuzzFeed, and this is from 2021, so Cosby won't make it. Tom Hiddleston,
Okay, yeah.
Keanu Reeves, Emma Watson, Shaq, Ryan Reynolds, Ian McKellen.
Isn't he like 90?
Yeah, Kelly Tran.
I don't
I don't know
know.
who that is either. Ron Weasley.
I'm guessing that's
Just
not his real
remember
name.
Grant. Just Hugh Jackman again. Dolly Parton. Ooh, Dolly Parton might be my answer. I that's my answer for a famous female celebrity.
Female, yeah.
Benedict Wong, Zendaya, Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd's a good one. Viggo Mortensen, The Rock, Buscemi,
Kelly Tran was in Star Wars.
Lady Gaga, Tyler Perry, Anthony Hopkins. It's hard since he was Hannibal Lecter. Jojo Siwa, too early, in my opinion. Danny Trejo came and spoke at my school, by the way. Danny
Really?
Trejo.
I mean, you got 2 celebrity ties. I got nothing.
What?
I got nothing. You got like 2 celebrity ties now in this episode.
Well, he came to my school as a guest speaker and was like talking about following your dreams, even though he fell, ass backwards into being an actor. But whatever. Elijah Wood,
A lot of foreigners.
Kid Cudi. Oh yeah, Americans are awful. Betty White, David Tennant, Gabriel Iglesias. That doesn't surprise me at all.
Fluffy, yeah.
Bill Murray. That makes sense.
No, he got drug already. When did this come out?
Did he 2021?
He got drug last year, actually. For sexual assault
That
allegations.
sucks. Chris Evans, Margot Robbie, Tom Hanks.
I watched Margot Robbie on the
Oh, and finally, Sir David Attenborough, the GOAT.
I watched the Graham Norton
this
show.
quote says he is humanity's grandpa.
That's fair, yeah.
Yes, the GOAT. I'm going David Attenborough, Dolly Parton. Lock him in.
Dolly should be on there. Her commitment to reading and everything. She got Dollywood, which is like...
She is amazing. She has an interview where like they're asking her these questions and she's just hitting like home run jokes right back at them over and over and over, and it's fantastic.
Barbara Walters just died.
Yes.
And Twitter did not give the sweetest condolences to her other than like the sexism she dealt with early on in her career. But like a lot of it after she died, we're like, she wasn't the sweetheart you think she was. A lot of it, she got where she was, even though she was a woman, but was trying to be a journalist like a man, where she would still attack. So they kept playing like these interviews with her with like with Dolly, where the whole premise of the interview was for Barbara Walters to talk shit about Dolly's looks, and Dolly just kept rolling with the punches about oh, how do you wear you're buxom and you're flashy with these looks, and Dolly's just like, oh, it costs a lot of money to look this trashy. And then Dolly started talking about like her promotions for childhood education and reading. It was before Dollywood came out, and she was talking about, I just want a family fun place. I was like, man, Dolly was hilarious even in the 70s. Came off as this trailer trash piece of garbage, but like there's been podcasts, like 13-episode podcasts about how great of a person she is. And I just read a thing on her where people said that her look is so manufactured. If she didn't have her makeup and wig on, she can go out and have dinner with her husband and no one can recognize her. Are you listening, you son of a bitch?
This is one of the quotes where I think she's hilarious. In an interview where they said, "What is the first thing you do in the morning?" She said, "I usually get up, put on my clothes, and go home." And like everything in that interview was just fantastic. Like she broke them.
She's been playing people her whole career, I think. Where people think she's just some podunk white trash hillbilly, and she's like, "Go ahead, think what you want," and she's just taken to the bank.
She's great.
I'm a big fan of Dolly. Working 9 to 5. Speaking of Dolly Parton, did you look up anyone on that Rolling Stones 200 greatest artists?
I never looked up the list because you said you wanted to ask me
Correct.
questions. What do you mean correct? You told me not to.
I know. You are correct. I did tell you that.
I didn't know you wanted to do it on the show.
Well, it works better because this is a complete surprise to you. So, the 200 greatest singers of all time. Who would you put maybe... Name me a few artists that would be greatest singers throughout from the 40s to today.
Elvis.
Okay.
Michael Jackson.
Okay.
Like John Lennon, Paul McCartney.
Is that one or two people?
You said it was two people. You said
They are categorized separately.
I wouldn't know who.
They didn't do the Beatles. They did.
Yeah, I wouldn't know who they classified where as far as those go.
Okay.
Mariah Carey'd have to be high. Not by my choice, but she has a crap ton of number one hits.
Well, I'll tell you this. None of your people are in the top 50.
Elvis is in the top 50? The list is wrong.
Elvis, I think, is like 89.
That's ridiculous. He can't be anywhere other than top 5.
Number 1, Aretha Franklin.
Not even like my favorite. Okay, so are we just going on talent then? So like Adele's 2? Susan Boyle?
2 is Whitney Houston.
Okay, so we're going off pure singing talent.
Oh, no. No.
Well, in those first 2, they came out with bangers.
3 is Sam Cooke. One of the innovators of soul. Number 4, Billie Holiday. Great female singer in the 50s. Oh, wait. My bad. Mariah Carey's 5. My bad.
Still.
6, Ray Charles. 7, Stevie Wonder. 8, this one infuriated me. Beyonce.
No.
9, Otis Redding. 10, Al Green. 11, Little Richard. Oh,
Are these all black people? Like,
sorry. 12 is John Lennon. McCartney is like 93.
I figured Lennon would be higher. But like, again, like...
13, Patsy Cline.
See, like...
14, Freddie Mercury.
Is Bob Dylan? Bob Dylan should be up there. And like, I don't like Bob Dylan's music.
This is 15. But again...
Where's Elvis? That one hurts.
But like Bob Dylan, not a good singer at all.
No.
He's a poet who mumbles.
100%.
Like, I don't think...
Like, he's not my favorite, but like, this list feels all over the place. Because like, to put Aretha Franklin 1, to me establishes you're going by vocal ability. And then to put Bob Dylan 15, it's like, okay, I don't understand the list anymore. Like, you can't have like... Because if you're going off impact, Elvis is 1. That's just it.
So...
Again, like, he's not my favorite, but that dude changed everything. literally like people faint seeing him. You know what I mean? Like
it does. So going on, me, my mom, and Nicole went through. Like, you can't. They're clearly not going all through influence. Because if
it's influence, Elvis is one.
Like truly up there.
And like if you want to put Elvis at like 3, and you know what I mean.
And then when we talk about influence, like you have to put Elton John in there.
Yeah.
Like he's an artist. Huge shows with boisterous outfits, great voice, timeless music.
Yeah, like if you to me, like you can't put Elvis below 3 and have a respectable list.
Oh, I know there's one. There's one in the '80s that we talked about.
Just because like Elvis,
and then we talk about in pure '98.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
It's like
those two, I think, are both top
2 of the
5
most
for sure,
impactful in history.
No matter what list you're making, those guys both have to
even
be
still today. Isn't Michael Jackson still have like the greatest solo artist of all time?
I think Mariah Carey being top 10 makes a lot of sense.
I completely disagree.
She has,
but like I didn't like her music when I was a kid.
She has the most #1 hits of any individual artist ever.
Does she?
Yeah. She freaking has the most famous Christmas song of all time.
Okay, I mean that's kind of a.
I'm just saying it's a feather in her cap. That song is going to end up having the most weeks at #1 all time because it gets 2 or 3 weeks every year as #1 Billboard. But if you look at Billboard top one, like #1 hits,
the Beatles have the most.
Yeah, as an individual artist. But still, look at the list with the Beatles. She's like gonna be like 2nd or 3rd.
That is Mariah Carey. She has 19.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't get it necessarily, but like, I think that like, if you're making a list, if you're going, well, how do you measure success? Oh, you have 19 songs that were ranked to #1. You got to be high.
And then when you talk about talent, so.
I'm just being unbiased here.
No, that's what I'm saying. It feels like this list is like here's the 5 reasons these singers are here. I'm going to throw a dart at what one matters at this number.
Yep.
Like vocal talent? Nope. Social impact. Like it feels like it's a very color-based list.
Yeah.
But as far as like vocal talent, that's the one that made me mad. Was Chris Cornell. He's number 80. One of only like 3 male singers in history to hit 4 octaves. It's like he's also one of the leaders of all of grunge music with Soundgarden.
Yeah, because I was just going off. That's why I guessed Mariah Carey, and you were probably like, what? It's only because I'd seen that stat before, where she had the most #1s for an individual artist. Just because, like, I don't...
Oh, Amy Winehouse made the list.
Okay.
I thought that was ridiculous. Johnny Cash is 85. Michael Jackson was 86.
That's ridiculous.
Diana Ross, 87.
So about like George Strait or...
I think George Strait was like 145.
Conway Twitty.
So this came like 113, 114.
Yeah.
So the reason I even looked up the list is because I'd heard about the list, and me, my mom, and the wife were watching Reba, the series, because we like to have shit just on in the background while we're doing stuff.
Love me some Van. Continue.
I love Van Montgomery. And then Mom is, oh, about that list. Where's Reba? Reba's not on the fucking list at all. I think she's really impactful. One of the greatest country singers from the...
It just
that
depends.
hit the 80s, 90s, and 2000s.
It just depends, again, what's your criteria. And it feels pretty cheap doing it individuals only, just because it does kill some groups. It helps. I'm like, the Beatles can have multiple, obviously, but like...
They do.
Right, but I'm saying, like, a lot of groups can't make it on pure and individuals.
Well, Fleetwood Mac's not on the list, but Stevie Nicks is on the list. She's at 93. Someone who I've never liked but is on the list, Janis Joplin. I don't know why. Oh, Aaliyah was number 40.
That's high. That list feels very racially motivated.
Van Morrison was 37.
I mean, the first, like, when you listen to the first 15 people, there were like 2 white people. And not that, like, that's it. I don't care about that per se, but like, 'cause obviously one of my biggest snubs is Michael Jackson, who wasn't white, but it just feels like having Al Green so high seems strange. Like, I just don't know what the list is, because if you're going off pure vocal talent, Whitney Houston and Aretha Franklin make a ton of sense. Beyonce has no business being in the top 50, no matter how you want to list it.
Considering she doesn't write any of her own music, so like her impact isn't there.
No matter what your criteria is, she makes no sense. Not a great vocalist, not
a writer,
not a huge impact as far as music goes.
Just rich in the right time that
not like
social media grew and like empowering women. But like,
get it, man.
That's a marketer. That's not her.
I don't get it.
Nina Simone is number 21.
No idea who that is.
She's a singer from the 40s all the way through the 80s. And then I heard her as an old lady sing on Jay Leno one night, which she had a really good song. I enjoyed it. It's on my Apple Music.
One of the people.
Adele's 22. I think that's not fair.
Where's Kurt Cobain?
36.
It's too high.
Because he's not a very good singer? Or too high as in like he should be better?
No, it's too high as in...
He should be lower? As in like 2, 3, like in the top 15? Top 20?
No, I'm saying probably outside the top 50 if we're going off of...
Talent. He's a sloppy guitar player.
I mean, if you're going off a lot of things.
A pretty poor...
Basically, again, it's like the Beyonce one for me. No matter how you're ranking it, I can think of 50 people better. Yeah. I talk about achievements, because like the Nirvana to me is one of those weird things where Smells Like Teen Spirit, fantastic song. He killed himself, super sad. Like, but like, if you take the top 15 Nirvana songs and put them next to the top 15 Smashing Pumpkins songs, it's gonna be fairly close. And no one puts Smashing Pumpkins up there, and that's, you know what I mean. That's where it's like.
Well, part of the problem with that is Smashing Pumpkins songs, I think, are a lot more complex musically.
But they also were able to decline in front of our eyes, which sometimes affects things.
If you die on top, you're a legend.
Mm-hmm. What about one of my favorites? I'm blanking on his name.
You don't know your favorites?
I'm just completely blanking on his name.
Chester Bennington's not on the list.
Lead singer of Matchbox 20.
Rob Thomas is not on there.
Rob Thomas.
He's not on there.
No, but I love that guy.
Yeah, big fan.
But I think it's like, I was like, I could think Rob, and I couldn't get the Thomas for whatever reason. My brain went to Rob Zombie first, and then I couldn't get off of it.
Said, this life ain't good enough. I'll tell you what.
But like,
big fan. Like he
ran the radio for a decade. I mean,
easy.
A decade Matchbox 20 songs.
It was on the Hot 5 at 9.
And the type of music no one hates. Like, you don't put it on to someone like, I can't stand this. Turn it off.
It is.
There's something to be said for that.
He is the Nickelback of top 40 music.
Well, I'm just saying, like, everyone has an opinion on stuff. Like, you play Taylor Swift, some people hate it. You play rap music, somebody hates it. You play rock music, everyone hates it. You put on Matchbox 20, and there's no complaints. Literally no one cares.
You could convert all Matchbox 20 songs into elevator music chords, and you'd be like, this is good elevator music.
Like, I just like I can play those in front of my grandma, and she's not gonna say anything. I can play them in front of young people, and they're not gonna complain. Everyone's just like, this is kind of good.
Very, very foot tap. I'm like, yeah, it is.
I wanna take you for granted.
It's kind of like the first album of
I'm not
Goo Goo Dolls.
I'm not crazy. I'm just a little unwell. I know. Sometimes you do.
You could play that song on a xylophone, and someone's like, "Do I like it? Do I like the xylophone?"
This is a sore subject in my house. Matchbox 20. It's a sore subject in my home.
Saw them twice in concert.
It's why it's a sore subject in my home.
Did you have tickets?
They were going on a Wednesday night to, I don't know what it was called at the time, Deer Creek, Verizon, Klipsch, whatever. It's a big venue that we had in Noblesville in Indiana. And people came there all the time. It was a Wednesday night. It was $10. Matchbox 20 was going to be there. I was like, hey, Bethany, we should go. Because she always thought I wanted to go to concerts. And I was like, they're good. She goes, I don't know who Matchbox 20 is.
What?
And I was like, they're fantastic. She's like, I don't want to go to that. So we didn't go. And then, like, not a month later, I'm just, like, listening to it. And she's like, she comes in. She goes, ooh, I love this song. She's So Mean was playing. And I was just like, and I was like, this is Matchbox 20. So then the rest of the night, I just played Matchbox 20. Just all their hits. She's like, oh, I know all these songs. They're great. And I was like, I will kill you. Like, we could have seen them for $10 a piece.
What's crazy is, like, if you did, like, people who make playlists on Spotify.
And again, that'd be a great concert for me.
It's
going to be good
fucking
live.
fantastic. I'll tell you what. Fountains of Wayne opened up for him.
Nice. Stacey's mom.
Surprisingly good opening venue. I didn't know their stuff, but they sounded really good live.
They didn't sing Stacey's mom?
They did right before Matchbox 20 came on.
I was like of course that has to be
But
played.
I heard, like, they only played like 4 songs. Like, Matchbox 20's got so many hits.
Yeah.
And they were really good crowd work as far as talking. They played in a really shitty venue. And that was the Rockford Metro Center, which only holds about 4,500 people. And the building is made out of brick the first, like, 20 feet. And then it's you're sitting on top of a tin can. A lot of reverb. I've heard a lot of concerts. Did not sound good. Great for monster trucks. Not great for good artists. I could have been listening to a goddamn CD. Like, it was fan-fucking-tastic.
Like, there's, you know who I would like to see live, who I think surprisingly good live? The Weeknd. Like, he doesn't seem like
He's so strong vocally.
Right, but like, I wouldn't have guessed that from listening to him on the radio.
Because it sounds so electronic.
It sounds fake. And then you're like, oh, you just sound like
that's
that?
you.
Like, maybe his mic, because a mic can add some auto-tune.
Did you fall in love with it after, like, seeing him at the Super Bowl?
Before that, he was on Saturday Night Live one time, and he sang, and I was like, good Lord. And then he did at the Grammys, him and Ariana Grande sang Love Me Harder.
Okay.
And they both vocally are just fantastic.
People shit on SNL a lot, but they've introduced me to some artists. One of them was Florence and the Machine.
But they sang that, and then if you remember Save Your Tears with Ariana Grande and The Weeknd as well, they need to, you know how people are getting together for albums? They need to get together for an album. Because they've done 2 songs now, both which were incredibly popular.
Ariana's just got so much range.
And he
can hit.
Yeah. And together they are.
The Weeknd's on that list, by the way.
Yeah, they're both
not high enough.
They're both vocally very gifted, and they're both comfortable singing raunchy stuff. So they should make an album, man.
A sex album and then like a poppy album.
Just like, yeah. Like What We Do in the Dark, the album.
What's that one that you said is the dirtiest song ever?
Or nah. And it's not the dirtiest ever. It's just one where, like, it's just a funny story where,
I'll tell you,
what's his face?
Country wasn't. I don't think they got enough credit. Maybe because they didn't want to dig back so far without being attached to so much racism. Because, like, you know, 50s country is it's really racist. But there's only like George Strait's 156.
Conway Twitty has a song that I like to sing to Bethany all the time that's super sexist. He's like,
sexist or racist?
Sexist. He goes, touch the hand of the man that made you a woman. Just like,
oh, it's like Axl Rose is on there.
Just like,
he should be.
Ozzy.
Do you know where you are? Ozzy's on there. He's not high up particularly, but he is on there. He's really high up, actually. He's in like the 180s.
You know what song? Remember the weekend when he came out with Blinding Lights and broke the freaking Billboard?
That was the longest in history.
It was like 80 weeks in the top 10.
I think it's longer than that.
Like absurd.
Blinding Lights. Top 100.
And he's got that new one, Die For You.
100.
Fantastic.
No, it was 143 weeks.
Yeah, it's like 3 years. It's over too. I mean, 52
It's
weeks
the longest
in
in history by a lot.
It's almost 3 years. Do you really think about that?
It spent 57 weeks just in the top 10.
Yeah, that's over a year. That's insane. I mean, that's got to go down as maybe the best song ever as far as success.
It probably.
Just if you think talking
Because
about
that's like
overall
this.
longevity.
That's like the 60s where like radio play was just controlled purely by the record label. But like the Weeknd, it stayed.
Mm-hmm. And that new Die For You song's great.
Wait, what? The Weeknd?
Yeah, on his new album. That's all over the radio right now.
Oh, I love that. That's
Die For
the
You
Dawn
song.
FM CD.
Yeah, the Die For You song.
I love that whole album. I love the breaks. I love the
He's
bumper stuff where it's got
so
like
good.
it's got like a radio DJ.
Some of his songs are super messed up though. Some of his early
Oh
stuff.
yeah, the real rapey tone.
No, one of his songs is like how him and his friends like gang raped a girl, basically, and you're like, what?
So, the Weeknd's 110 on that list. You know who 111 is? Fiona Apple. You know who that is?
Yep.
How about Roger Daltrey?
Where's Shania?
Not on the list. So,
Bogus.
right. So what is it like? Impact.
Beyonce, but not Shania. Get out of here.
Like you, right. There would be no Beyonce if there weren't a Shania Twain.
Dumb.
There'd be no Dixie Chicks. There'd be no Leanne Rimes. There'd be no Carrie Underwood, Taylor Swift, if not for someone like Shania.
Shania was like one of the
A true female innovator.
pioneers of like
Pop country.
yeah, this the crossover where you can do both.
Taylor Swift's 102. Usher 97. But I think Michael Jackson 86 is ridiculous. He was famous
That's
for
criminal.
50 years.
Where's Prince?
Oh, he's like top 30.
I don't understand this list.
Bjork is on the list at 64. Oh, wait. One that really threw me off. D'Angelo.
I don't know what it is. But Pharrell Williams.
Pharrell's not on the list.
Bogus. Bogus.
Who'd
he
you say?
he writes and produces like all
Ariana's 43.
Oh, speaking of who writes Beyonce's music and produces it,
There's like 30
that's
people.
Pharrell.
Oh, well, yeah.
He does like
He's
hers
one of the major
and JC's
producers.
And well, no, I'm just saying like she's on the list super high. And he
Oh, wait.
can't even crack
Dolly's
the list.
27.
But you see what I mean? Like she's on the list super high and he can't crack the list. Really? Another person who's kind of like that like super successful, you don't realize is CeeLo Green.
Oh, yeah.
He's like a billionaire from like doing stuff like that. Sometimes those
I
background.
mean, Dr. Dre should be on that list too, then, if that's as far as that goes.
Well, I mean, again, if you're going off impact, Dr. Dre should be on the list or bringing Eminem to the scene. Eminem should be on the list anyway.
Is
Is Eminem on the list?
as far as, no. West Coast to hip hop. Like,
This reminds me of that Lil Wayne outtake. Gucci Mane. Gucci Mane's on the list. Eminem on the list. Shout out to Gucci Mane. That's that interview.
I've watched that, yeah.
Yeah, that's how it feels like. Beyonce's on the list and Eminem's on the list. So respectful in his way of just basically saying your list is trash. God, that's so bad.
Was he on with
Lil Wayne should be on the list.
what show is he on?
I
where
just
he's
don't
in?
understand this list, clearly.
Yeah, with that Little Wayne thing. He was on that one with the guy and the girl. What the fuck's his name? Bald headed dude. Bald headed black dude with the goatee, and then the chick that's a lot more level headed. Not Tyler the Creator, but it's like something to God.
Charlemagne.
Charlemagne the God.
I was like, you gotta give me more than
The God.
He was on a show with a lady and a black guy.
And I said the bald guy with the goatee.
Thank you. You know that one.
The most popular white people black hip hop thing.
The Breakfast Club
Yeah.
would be the show.
George Strait 156. Carrie Underwood 158.
Yeah, because they're in the same sentence.
Mark Anthony is
Because
167.
George Strait and Carrie Underwood are basically the same.
Oh, we were talking about country.
No, but they're the same as
Yeah.
far as music impact. Sure, totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
George Strait has how many number ones?
Not as many as Mariah. For some reason.
Not Billboard.
I don't understand.
So
The
George
Mariah
Strait
Carey thing.
Billboard 100? No, because it's pop. But
Still,
country Billboard number ones.
Right.
George Strait's got like 60.
Still, it's just so weird that Mariah has that many. Like, I can't tell you 10 of her songs, but
I can't tell you 5.
you know what I mean? Like, isn't that weird?
I know Butterfly.
All I want for Christmas is you. I'm about out.
Crazy, I think. There's like 3 songs that came out in like the 90s that I knew because that was the only time I watched MTV.
You say Butterfly?
Yeah.
Come, my lady, come, my lady, be a butterfly.
Different.
Sugar, baby.
Spread your wings and fly.
Probably better.
Butterfly. That was the same time P. Diddy was big. Sorry, Puff Daddy at the time.
D.
Mo Money, Mo Problems. Oh, I'm going to actually have to take a pee break before we do these picks.
I'm just frustrated now. Thank you for that.
Yeah. What we're getting out of the gist of this is the Rob Thomas got screwed.
Is David Attenborough on the list? I don't care that he doesn't sing.
I think
Where's
now.
he on the list?
I think now every time you guys come over, I'm just gonna play a Matchbox 20 song. How did he make that shot? I'm going
It
to.
doesn't matter, but it's awesome.
I'm going to play a Matchbox 20 song. You know what? I don't have to worry about it because like you guys come over with the next 15 times, I'm gonna have a song with Rob Thomas.
So good.
All right, I'm gonna take a leak.
She knows she's.
And then we'll
at this
pick.
point.
Big surprise on the leaderboard for the picks, but man, you'll see.
Been drinking Kool-Aid.
No sunshine when she's gone. Only darkness every day.
Well. Now I'm gonna have to look. I was talking about it as I was going to take a leak. I don't recall seeing Phil Collins on that list, and legit one of the most influential rock songs of all time, "In the Air Tonight."
Great backstory to that one too.
It is legit the most played song in all of United States stadiums. Not to mention, he's got a shit ton. He wrote the Tarzan Disney soundtrack. I mean, come on. He's still singing, still sounding good, albeit different. I'm so frustrated. So fucking frustrated.
Ooh, this week's going to be rough.
This is a tough. There's some weird spreads. So, last week, I went 6-9. Zach here decided to actually fucking make some picks. 11-4. We did have to scrub Bengals-Bills game. We also cannot pick on the Ravens at Bengals and Patriots at Bills game. There wasn't a spread when I made this list at
I can find him now.
at 6 o'clock today.
Really?
FanDuel didn't even release there was no spread because they didn't even have full practices today, and they didn't hold the press conferences. They only had the team captain press conference. They are scheduled to play off.
7-point favorites on FanDuel right now. Bengals 7-point favorites. Bills and Bengals are both -7 on FanDuel right now.
I made the list at fucking 6 o'clock.
Well, they just announced that when the games are going to be and all that. What just happened when we weren't looking? The game's tied now, sir.
What the
Weren't they down 9 with 30 seconds left in the game?
Well, I will say, I'm not sure how I feel about even picking on these. It's not like I would never bet those. Either of those
Bet
games.
a lot of these.
So
Chiefs easy, man.
Yep.
Mahomes needs 430 yards for the passing record. They win this game, they clinch a bye and the 1 seed. It's too much motivation for a team against Jarrett Stidham and the gang.
Titans, Jags. I'm taking the Jags. Like I said, what the?
But you were taking them hard. A lot of Jags.
I think Jackson broke my fucking keyboard. What do you think? I think a Titan broke. I don't know what happened.
I'm taking the Titans. Josh Dobbs, lose our Lord and Savior. I don't think they win, but I just can't take the Jags in good conscience. That big
Jets
spread.
at Dolphins are still without Tua.
Jets. Because the Steelers are built to make the playoffs. Sorry, it's happening. Sorry about you.
I'm with you.
Steelers.
I was actually thinking. I think T.J. Watt.
To stick with the Steelers theme, the only other thing they need a Jets win, a Steelers win, and a Bills win. I will take the Bills by 7. I think, talk about an external motivator with the Damar Hamlin situation. They're going to come out fired up.
What the fuck is going on with this keyboard? Texans, Colts.
Give me the Texans.
I want. What is?
Good Lord. Give me the Texans. I might pick them just to win straight up. Fine.
All right.
Pick.
Dude. Fucking grubby kid fingers. I'm gonna have to reboot this.
Dude, these games are so rough because all the people sitting.
Why are the Bucks?
They're not.
Oh, because they
they're
won.
locked in. They're not going to play.
Shit.
I'll take the Falcons.
Who's playing for the Bucks?
Not Tom, probably.
I don't know who the quarterback is.
That's why Falcons for me. Is it going to be Kyle Trask?
Oh, you know what? Just to support my buddy.
I don't know if it will
Yeah,
be, but
Wiley.
I feel like it's Trask.
I'm gonna take the Bucks.
Yeah, I'll take the Falcons.
Ooh, Panthers, Saints. The Panthers are kind of on a roll. Saints are looking rough. They're in New Orleans. I think a big game for my boy Chris Olave.
I'll take the Panthers. They're rolling a little bit.
They are rolling. Sam Darnold looking like a real quarterback again.
Again, just because I get that 3-point out.
Oh, Vikings, Bears. I'm taking Vikings.
This is a key number. You know what I mean? Like, they lose 21-24. They cover. I'll take the Vikings, too. Nathan Peterman is not that dude. I'll take the Eagles. It's 1 billion points, but in a game that they have to win,
they need to
get the 1 seed.
Yeah, they need it, and Hurts is back, right?
Yeah, he's been practicing this week. He'll play, and they're just gonna clobber him. I think.
38-10.
See, they messed around and lost 2 weeks in a row, not playing their guys. Seahawks. Seahawks have a chance to make the playoffs, so give me the Seahawks.
Within the Seahawks, Geno Smith leads the league in completion percentage. I think 3 interceptions for Baker Mayfield.
Give me the Broncos.
All right, we disagree.
Hackett is no longer there to stop Dangerous.
I was going to type Seahawks. Go Hawks.
I'll take the 49ers.
Well, I mean, it's hard to pick.
There's no Kyler, no D-Hop, for sure.
Look at this fucking... Oh, my God.
Yeah, we just need to get through these picks so we can get this keyboard.
It could be a dead battery. Cowboys at Commanders. Cowboys, they need this too, right? Because they're playing...
I don't know what they're playing for, but give me the Cowboys. Sam Howell's starting, so...
Who?
Sam Howell.
For who?
The Commanders. The rookie. He gets a debut against that Cowboys defense. You know, against the ball... Like, say what you will about Diggs, but a ball hawk and Diggs. Micah Parsons. Not a great thing for your debut. Yeah, we need to get through these, man.
Oh, I don't know what's going on.
Give me the Lions. I don't care if the Seahawks lose or whatever, or the Seahawks win and Lions know that they're out. They're not going to roll over even if they know they're out.
I want this to be the spoiler for the Packers. So,
well, you have the Seahawks lose. Winner of that game is in the division, is in the playoffs.
Between Lions Packers?
Yeah. Winner of this game, depending on what they do with the postponed game, wins the AFC North. Give me the Ravens. That's a big spread. I'm assuming Lamar's back, but I don't know if he will be or not.
I hope so, because otherwise, like, they're not going to do anything in playoffs. So Ravens at 7-point favorite. Bengals. The Bengals went through the thing too. I'm with you. I'm taking the Ravens. So, season totals. I am up 1 game. Who'd have thought?
Yeah.
18 weeks. Picking every single game.
We're that close.
We've had a total of, I think, 3 pushes.
Hey, we'll be close enough that the playoffs will matter.
Yeah, we'll have to pick the playoff games. Yeah. Man, last week making up 5 games in 1 week is pretty impressive. Well, that's that. I think we're going to listen to some Matchbox 20 and play some Madden. Hopefully, you're okay with listening to some Rob Thomas featuring Carlos Santana. Because it's so smooth.
Because you're so smooth.
Luckily, during the three of those days that we weren't playing, if you logged into your connected Madden franchise, your game was corrupted and it's gone. There was a storage issue that if you accessed during their coding issue, gone.
Thanks.
Luckily, we did not. We'll watch some more NBA. Brooke Lopez, the most boring player in the NBA. Big, gangly motherfucker. George
Lakers hanging
Mears.
with Miami so far with no LeBron tonight.
Why is he out? Taking a grandpa break?
An illness. They have to say non-COVID now. Non-COVID related illness.
A sick plan for the Lakers. I'm gonna check out this keyword issue that apparently every time I click
I think he's 38 years old. I think he's not going to play all 82 games. And this is just a game where they were like, we're going to face Miami? Yeah, I'm a set. Without 80, I'll play against Charlotte and against teams that I could basically, by myself, just beat them.
What are they, 10th in the division still?
Mm-hmm. They're right on the edge of the play-in. So, like, if Anthony Davis gets back, if I'm LeBron, I'm like if you're playing Milwaukee, I'm sitting.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's the point? Like, I can't.
I want to be fresh to dominate.
Could we somehow beat them? Sure. But, like, I want to be fresh to dominate the teams that I should just be able to give us a win by myself.
Milwaukee looks tired.
You think that the Raptors would be, because this is probably freaking minute 47 for Siakam tonight. Like, I'm telling you, I'm going to pull it up right now just because, like, these guys, their minutes are insane.
Why is Grayson Allen in?
He's a starter for them.
I fucking hate Grayson Allen. Watching him play for Duke was just like...
So here we go. Here are the minutes for Milwaukee, right?
Mm-hmm.
For their starters, I'm going to go from bottom to up. Javon Carter's played 23. 31 for Allen. 37 for Lopez. 38 Giannis. 39 Connaughton. And remember, part of that's because they've played 4 minutes overtime. So, like, that's added on.
It's registered.
You ready for
Toronto.
the Raptors and how I say they are? 34 for Barnes. 39 for Siakam. 44 Gary Trent Jr.
Holy
45 Anunoby. 46 Van Vliet.
whole game.
Their bench. They played, like, to show you the difference. Here's the bench for the Bucks: 10 minutes, 32. 1 minute, 14. 13, 22. The bench for the Raptors: 22, 5, 12, and 12. Like, if they get overtime again, they're gonna have like 4 guys play 50 minutes.
They might go overtime again too. 20 seconds left. Giannis with the ball.
But isn't that insane? Like, these guys just play so many minutes, and I know that.
What a
like,
pass!
I play a lot of DraftKings, so like sometimes it's like Siakam's one of those guys where it's
Just
like,
throw him on there because he's gonna play.
I'm like, he's underpriced because, like, he may not be as good as, like,
but you can bet he's
John
gonna be.
Morant, but he's gonna play 10 more minutes. Like, you know what? Like, Ja's gonna play 32, and freaking Siakam's gonna play 42. Like, 10 minutes is a long time to play. It's like a quarter.
And he's not sitting in overtime.
It's a lot more times to get boards and assists. And yeah. All right. Well, I think it's a good show.
Yeah, it's fun.
I hate Rolling Stone now. David Attenborough and Dolly Parton, lock it in. Steelers will be in the playoffs now. Good or bad?
They're in?
They're going to be in.
Your prediction, you mean?
They're going to win. The Bills are going to win. And then the Jets and Dolphins, I mean, that's a coin flip. But, I mean, this is what Pittsburgh does. We fall ass backwards into the playoffs and get absolutely handled in the first round. That's what they've been doing. But, I mean, if that's what your team does during a rebuild, you become the 6-7 seed every year. Could be worse, right? In the AFC, in one game, I think we could beat anyone but the Chiefs.
Fair enough.
Are we as good as a lot of the other teams? Absolutely not. But like Josh Allen turns the ball over enough to where we can hang in. You know what I mean? Like the Bengals, we've beaten them. Like it's happened. So it's just a division thing. Ravens, same thing. The thing about the Chiefs is the only way Pittsburgh would beat the Chiefs would be like just insanity. Have to have our best offensive game of the season. We still need turnovers. Like it's just because Patrick Mahomes is just different.
There's only 5 road favorites. Seems like it's usually more than that. I don't know. I type it up. It's just seeing numbers in the front. It usually feels higher.
Yeah, and the Jets aren't like a convincing one. That game was moved so much. It opened up 3-point favorites for the Dolphins.
Before,
But they've already announced it's going to be Skylar Thompson.
for the Dolphins.
Yeah, Skylar Thompson and Mike Glennon are going to be their quarterbacks this week.
Is Tua done?
Maybe forever.
3+ concussions in one season.
4 months.
Oh, it's even worse. Yeah.
What do you think about that? Like, that's the thing is he's not going to be. He can't play this week. Teddy Bridgewater broke his finger last week. They're not as good with Skylar Thompson. You know what's weird? And this is just before we get out of here. This is what I mean by like the weird stuff. I thought Pittsburgh. I said they were done. What, a month ago?
Mm-hmm.
And then I said I was going to buy back in. Then we lost the game, and I was like, yeah, we're out again. I did not predict
Ooh, triple double for
that
Giannis.
Pittsburgh would win 4 of 5, which obviously there's a chance they could have. They've won 4 of their last 5.
They'd won 5 of 5 if it had Titty Kiss and Mitch.
He actually was the one who started in their loss. There was the 1-game pick it missed.
Yeah. Move on.
What?
Move on.
Yeah. But anyway, we've won 4 of 5.
Probably winning against the Buzzsaw.
The Dolphins have lost 5 in a row. The Jets have lost 5 in a row. And the Titans have lost 6 in a row. So these are not things that should have happened. So, like, and still for Pittsburgh to get in, the Dolphins will have lost 6 in a row. And the Steelers...
Are you Zach the Potato?
I'm not Zach the Potato.
Thank you, Zach the Potato.
But yeah, I guess I just feel like it's just what we do. We'll sneak in. We'll probably face the Bills. We lost, 38 to... We just got obliterated. Josh Allen had like 400 yards passing in the first half. It's going to be ugly. But I think I truly think we're going to get in now. Just because I think there's no way that the Bills lose to the Pats.
Deshaun still looks like garbage.
Yeah, exactly. I think I'm confident
under
we'll win.
50% passing.
I'm confident the Bills will win. And I think the Jets are going to be the Dolphins. Just because with the Jets defense and Sauce Gardner playing against Skylar Thompson, it's not going to be good.
The Jets front seven's pretty potent. So
And they have a good secondary, so they're not the type that's just going to get absolutely roasted by Waddle and Hill. So like I said, I feel like Pittsburgh is just going to get in. Probably bad for it's honestly bad for us, but that's what I think will happen.
My worry is that the Dolphins outside rushers feast on Mike White.
Chubb was out last week. Bradley Chubb was.
It's really Jalen Phillips that I'm thinking about.
I don't know if he'll be back, but
Phillips is a game wrecker. Titans, I've thought they were broken. I'd probably take them up to 9.
actually like that Bills game. I know that's one of the 3 things Pittsburgh needs, and I really just don't see any scenario where the Bills lose to the Pats right now. Coming off the Damar Hamlin thing.
Who's going to play safety? Damar Hamlin is the second string strong safety after Micah Hyde got hurt. That's my only concern. But
because Mac Jones
Matt can't throw the ball. Yeah, Matt.
Throwing it to who?
The best defense is a shitty quarterback.
And he's gonna throw it to who? Downfield. Like it doesn't matter.
Well, it's not N'Keal Harry because he's in Chicago. There's no one throwing the ball to N'Keal Harry in Chicago.
So I'll be watching the Steelers game and flipping back and forth between the Jets Dolphins game.
Jacoby Myers. He's a good play.
Yeah, but he's not that deep threat. He's a possession guy. So
Yeah,
safety's not going to matter as much.
Lakers are up. Superstar who?
They're trying.
Cardinals. They're done.
Well, anytime you can have Schroeder and Max Christie and Troy Brown and Wyndon Gabriel all on the floor, you got to do it. Ooh, they're putting Kendrick Nunn in. Perfect.
Who?
Kendrick Nunn.
Exactly. Lines. I can't fucking read the lines. I can't. I think the Packers have fought back so hard. Destiny says they should win. I want the anime-loving... What the fuck kind of layup?
Hey, layups are hard, man.
Yeah, hard as a free throw. Rams, I think Baker has a decent game, but not good enough to cover. Eagles got to be mad. Bears.
So Bears are 100% trading out of that pick, right?
You'd think, right? I see 10 positions. Front four.
They're so barren. The thing is, they have so many needs.
Right, so they have to trade out of it.
And it's not, and one of them isn't quarterback, in theory. So, like, unless you, like, if you're a GM and they want to move on from Fields, then you have to trade Fields. Those are your choices. You can't keep Fields and take a player one.
Right, but if they,
I don't think.
So, I'm wearing a fucking Fields jersey, and there's a hanging Fields autograph jersey. I want Fields. Fields is that guy to me.
I would keep Fields, but like my thing is, I'm just saying you can't keep Fields and take like Will Anderson one is what I'm getting at. They're not going to take a quarterback and keep Fields both, obviously.
Right.
But I don't think you can keep the pick if you're not taking Stroud or Young, because if you're not taking one of those guys, trade it to somebody who will, and they'll overpay.
That's where the benefit that CJ Stroud had such a good game. Levis didn't even play for Kentucky, so I think people are going to hype the fucker up on social media.
Oh,
I think there's going to be such thirsty teams. I think the Bears can...
I think the picks are going to be, in some order, Stroud, Young, Levis, first 3 picks.
Do you think...
I really believe
my real hope, as far as dream scenario goes...
Houston's taking one of them.
My dream is that the Lions, who have 2 first-round picks, they don't believe in Goff. My hope is they don't believe in Goff.
I don't believe in Goff. They'll take a quarterback. If they can.
They've played themselves out of getting one of those quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
they have 2 first-rounders, though. They have...
Who are their 2 first-rounders? What picks?
4 and 18, I think.
You could get both of those.
That's the hope.
Maybe. The hard part is they'd have to fall in love with one of those 3.
How do you not?
And decide that they want one of them. But you can always do a double trade down. There's a chance that... Okay, wait. So the Broncos are picking 3rd? They'll trade back too.
The Seahawks have it.
Oh. Ooh, that's rough.
Lions own the Rams pick, and then their other pick...
So let's see here. Go back up.
Oh, wait.
So, Houston wants a quarterback. Chicago doesn't. Seattle does. Arizona doesn't. Indy does.
So 6 and 17 are the Lions picks.
See, Indy could trade up.
Oh, forfeited. That's a bad look.
Yeah. See, Indy could trade up.
The other thing is that
I mean, there's Indy and Carolina.
is Seattle in on Geno.
Seattle has 2 picks as well.
Right, is Seattle in on Geno.
Oh, they'll take a QB. Or they'll trade down. That's the thing is, if you're not taking a quarterback, you're trading down in those top 3 picks.
You almost need Denver to win and Arizona to lose to push them out of the top 3 to make sure they can get the quarterback they want. Because do you get a big money contract?
Too. Arizona's not taking QB. Now, at 3, someone might take Will Anderson at that point. I think the Colts are going to trade into the top 3.
They need to.
Or they'll just get Derek Carr and do it all over.
So as a Bears fan, that's who I follow the most. If Indy's going to trade with Chicago, they're going to need to put like DeForest Buckner in there. And they're like, they need they're going to need to send one of the scheme's most important players. It's the 3 technique.
I'm trying to think of a interesting trade off the cuff. Vegas gives pick 8 and Hopkins.
Hopkins doesn't
Not
play
Hopkins,
for Vegas.
Devontae Adams.
Devontae.
Now, like I don't like it as far as I really don't,
the
I
age
don't
of
like that trade because the age.
Because the age
But
of Devontae.
there's an argument to be made for Justin Fields' development to give him a guy like that.
I agree. They'll have to increase the value of something else because they're barely in the top 10. So
It depends like where they end up. Like say they end up
next year's
I
first.
mean, say they lose,
and
Atlanta,
like a
Atlanta
mid-
wins, and they end up being 6th. If you're the Bears and you think, okay, we're picking 6th, 3 of the first 5 are going to be quarterbacks that we don't want anyway.
To go up to number 2, that usually costs 2 first-rounders plus. The Bears to go up 1 spot costs 3 to get Mitch. It also costs San Fran.
What if they gave
go up.
give pick 7, we'll say,
Okay.
their first next year and Adams?
They're probably gonna have to add a mid-range pick, like a 4th or a 5th, because Devontae's age.
That's hard.
He's good, but
See, that
how long is he
The
good?
Raiders would include Adams if they had to get that much picks.
They don't have. They don't even have a GM. They got rid of Mayock. So like, they're gonna try to make a splash and develop their quarterback.
It's tough.
There's so much. Like, I think this year's draft is gonna be a lot of moves, and to have 3 really good quarterbacks in this draft. Supposedly,
I saw the Steelers.
I think Levis is gonna bust like Zach Wilson.
I want the Steelers to get Joey Porter Jr. And yes, it's a corner. I'm in. There's a couple good corners in this draft. I want to go corner 1, D line 2.
Where's your boy Bijan end up?
The first good team that picks. So that's what I'm looking at right now. I mean, he could go to Arizona, but I think they have more holes than that. Maybe Carolina, as much as they want to run the football. They've shown they're not scared to draft a running back that early.
And then at the 9th pick,
Yeah, Philly. If he falls to Philly, they'll take him. They're a complete team. Sanders is a free agent.
I was thinking barely in the.
No, he's gonna be 15 or higher. Like I said, he'll go to. I think he's destined to go to Philly.
Go to the Giants, who aren't going to pay Saquon Barkley.
At 23rd. I don't think he'll make that long.
I know his average draft position, I think, was 21st, based on every
He's gonna
not
move up.
at Tampa, but between.
He's gonna move up is the thing. As he works out for people.
We'll find out what his 40 time is.
No, when he goes to work out and his 40 is a freaking 4.48 and he benches 225 40
He
times.
better hope he hits 4.4, because if he hits past 4.5, he loses that generational talent.
He's going to.
No generational talent of the top 12.
He's going to run a 4.40
projections
and
have ever hit 4.5.
he's going to bench 225 like 30 times. Dude is a freak of nature.
Right, but his short stride doesn't bode well for 40s, because once you hit that first 15, you slow down a lot.
Like I said, I think he's going early. I think that Philly pick makes a lot of sense because they're so complete already. Their offensive defensive line's good. They have Jalen Hurts. They have A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith. They have good tight ends. They have 2 firsts. So, like, take Bijan there. You know, get a defensive lineman or linebacker at 32. The gap between Bijan and the other guys is big.
That's fair. I mean, I don't think you're wrong. It just,
here's the thing. It seems high.
It's
I
hard to
recommend
pick a-
watching a YouTube video of just
I
Bijan
watched
this
his
year,
highlights today.
and then you'll be like, oh, yeah, that makes sense.
I hate watching him run.
I wouldn't be
Great
surprised.
vision, great cuts.
Oh, his
But
vision,
when
his
he-
vision's so good.
When he starts to hit his peak speed, he gets caught. His stride is so short. It's like he short legs every
And
step.
that's fine though. Like, you don't have to be able to run a 70-yard touchdown to be the best running back in football.
No, that exciting player that's going to get taken that early will.
Maybe.
No one likes to watch Darren Sproles run.
But Zeke didn't go bust off huge ones, and he went really high.
Zeke is the last anomaly that's going to be who he is.
Leonard Fournette went super high, and he had a couple big ones, but like I said, Bijan fits the modern day NFL. Elite pass catcher,
I think
elite pass blocker.
The GM got fired from Jacksonville for taking Fournette.
Right, but I think Bijan, he's the new type of running back. Elite pass catcher, elite pass blocker, great vision. So if he's the type of guy who can average, 4.8 yards a carry and catch the football, him being on the field doesn't tell the defense if you're going to passing or running.
Hey, I did read he's a B+ blocker.
He is a great pass blocker at an age where people aren't. Very few running backs come into the league as good pass blockers.
Well, very few do, but generational ones. Like, I'm grading him based on, like, LaDainian Tomlinson.
He was never a pass blocker.
No, but, like, the 15 grades of the other 15, the last 15 generational running backs, they were showing all their grades. He wins elite because he's way taller than those generational. He's over an inch and a half taller than, like, a next
He's
generation.
big. The thing is, he's big, strong, and can pass block and catch. Like, that's just, it's a rare.
It's a rare complete.
Very few people can just do everything. He's like what Le'Veon was, but faster.
His RAS score is lower than Brees Hall. But I think that was breakout speed. And Bijan doesn't have a clock 40.
See, because Bijan reminds me of Le'Veon Bell, but fast. Because Le'Veon was like painfully slow, but really good.
Yeah,
He does all the stuff Le'Veon does, but is more athletic, which is scary to think about. Because Le'Veon did so well in the league with like no athleticism because he could pass, block, and catch, and had good vision. You can make a career out of that. Arian Foster could pass, block, and catch, and had good vision, and was not an athlete, and was really good for several years.
And Arian Foster had some hands on. Too bad he had the hamstrings of a fucking juvenile.
Well, that's why I think he makes a lot of sense for like Philly. Pair him with Jalen Hurts and oof. I mean, that's a dream in heaven for fantasy too. If he went to Philly,
Triple option team.
he might be the 1-1 in redraft next year. Like, there's an argument for me the first overall pick if he went to Philly. Just because they score so much. And the fear, obviously, is that Jalen Hurts is going to take some of his touchdowns, but they score so much.
And then Jalen Hurts is going to have fucking 85% completion percentage because he's just going to dump everything down.
Yeah, and PPR would be so good there.
So the music's been playing this whole time. I'm going to crank it up. You guys have a good night. We will have a final total for the regular season. Who knows that? Thank you, Takeathon.com for the current draft order and their current streaks. God, the Bears have lost 9 in a row. They have the worst streak in the league. Justin Fields is out. They lose. Man, if Chicago loses and they have the number 1, is the number 2 worth more than the number 1 right now? I guess not, because then they know anyone can trade up and get whatever quarterback they want.
Yeah, you want the number 1. And it gives you the double trade down option. Or maybe Houston trades up to get one from you, knowing
Just to
you
make
want to move
sure.
down. That definitely could happen.
Then it can turn into if the Bears end up with the 1, they'll trade their first round pick 3 times.
I mean, think about if Houston's like, we'll give you our first and our third. And the Bears are like, okay.
Yeah.
Because that first is we basically get a third for free, and then we're still gonna flip the 2.
Right.
So like,
And if they have the Lions,
Yeah.
and they end up trading with the Lions to go to 2 and they take Stroud, then the Bears have the 6th, the 17th, an extra third, 1, 2, and it's a shitty 2 because Baltimore, so they'll probably try to trade.
If I'm Houston, I'd happily give the number 2 overall pick and my 3rd round pick to move up that pick.
Just to make sure.
Make sure I get my person.
Right.
And then if you're the Bears, it's like,
I
get an additional 3rd round pick. I don't want a quarterback anyway.
I've got 14 holes.
And then I could still find someone because someone else is going to like a different quarterback better. When they see Houston takes Stroud or whatever, someone else likes Bryce Young better anyway. And so they still, in their mind, are trading for the first pick. Because it's who they have 1-1 on their board.
This could be a generational draft for the Bears if the Texans win and they lose.
If they don't F it up.
Right.
Because some teams are just like, we should take Will Anderson.
Right.
And it's just like, no.
Well, consider
it mind if they just take Will Anderson at 1.
Yes, because last year they had 5 draft picks and turned into 11 by trade downs. I don't see him doing it the opposite way.
Some GMs are just like that, though. They just take their time. Pittsburgh never trades down, man.
I'm happy that I'm saying not like the Vikings.
Pittsburgh trades up some, but we never trade down.
The Vikings had, I think, all 7 picks last season. None of them played 100 snaps.
I think part of the reason Pittsburgh never trades down is Pittsburgh never admits they're in a rebuild. Because trading down is very much like,
that's a problem.
We want more.
It's a problem with great coaches.
To where Pittsburgh's like, this is the best guy on the board. We want him. You know what I mean? Like
he'll fit. We'll make him fit.
Like when Pickens was on the board, we were like, oh, first round grade on him. We'll take him here. I'm surprised we didn't trade up last year. Like, I'm absolutely stunned that we didn't trade up to get. Why we didn't trade up for him? If that was our quarterback, it's wild that we just sat at 20. We're just like,
that was your quarterback. He's the only pick.
I'm so glad that no quarterback. I'm really happy that no quarterbacks went, so that I know
they didn't get thirsty.
That was our guy. It wasn't like, oh, we took this guy even though he was our 3rd quarterback, but he was the best one available. Just because I'd always wonder in my head, like, did we even like him the most? At least now I know, like, we got the guy we wanted. It just really worked out to where basically everyone that picked in front of us didn't want a quarterback.
Yeah.
Like, it really worked out to, like, they all kind of had young quarterbacks they were still waiting to see on, so no one needed any. Really a weird year that way. Like this,
it is odd.
This year we didn't have a lot of teams that were, like, looking for outside quarterback help.
And now this season,
like the Colts had Matt Ryan, and they were like, yeah,
love it. He's a Marine.
Like, everyone was sold on who they had going into this year.
And now the Colts are in contention to move up. The Lions possibly move up. Raiders, or the Raiders, they're probably gonna have to move up.
Did you watch the end of the Steelers-Ravens game?
No.
Did you see the highlights?
Nope.
I'll have to show them to you.
I just saw the stats.
It's a big play for us on the last drive.
The Titans, they rebuilt, like they've lost 6 in a row. Like, are they in? I don't know if they could get Houston's 2 first rounders. The Jets, are they going to move up? Wilson's a bust.
They announced today they're sticking with Zach Wilson. High water.
Washington. They're going to. Who are they going to have? Wentz is fucking garbage.
They won't move up though. That high. It's too hard to move from that far down.
There's too much unknown in the ownership above them.
Because Houston's going to take one of the 3. That's guaranteed. I think the Colts are going to find their way up there. I really do.
I think the Colts might try hard. So the Colts, I think, would be involved if the Bears traded back with Detroit. If the Bears ended up 1, Bears trade Houston, then the Lions,
in my mind, it's going to be
then Houston for their
in this first 3 times. Or Detroit moves up. I think it's going to be 3 of those 4 taking the quarterbacks in the first 3 picks.
Which, when you have thirsty teams, you have 4 for 3 positions. Like, someone's overpaying somewhere. Colts, Houston.
Oh, Houston has 2 picks?
Yep.
Oh, man. Good for Houston. Dude, they take Bijan.
They just drafted Pierce.
Oh, man. It's fine. They might take a receiver.
Yeah, they might, because Brandon Cooks don't want to be there. We'll see what's available. I don't think Lovie Smith's going to lose this game, but the Bears, full tank mode, eventually.
Dude, Carolina might take him. Like, I still see that in my mind, that Carolina. I just have this gut feeling that Carolina's to take Bijan. They want to run the ball 400 times a game.
Carolina doesn't even have a coach.
No, I know. They're not. It's dumb, but I'm not saying I agree with it. But they want to run the ball 45 times a game, and they have Chuba Hubbard and Donta Foreman. It makes a lot of sense. If your goal is just we're going to turn around and hand the ball off 45 times, go get the Suggs then. You know what I mean? Like, go get the guy who might be able to do it himself. Maybe he'll be an Adrian Peterson for you. You know, back when he played on the Vikings, he just got it done. I'm going to say I agree with it. I think it's a terrible pick when you're a bad team to take your running back. I think it's kind of a luxury position. Like I said, I think Philly makes all the sense in the world. There's already a good team.
And then the rich get richer.
Yeah, then you get that luxury pick that makes your offense even more scary. I mean, if they rule out offense that has Goddard, Devonta Smith, A.J. Brown, and Bijan Robinson, like, that's terrifying.
Fucking all-star. Alright. Talking.
Yeah.
Right at the 2-hour mark. Long show. We hit a lot of good shit, though. Y'all have a good fucking night. It's been the MBZ podcast. I'm gonna win. Hope your fantasy teams weren't screwed.